all. In today's session we are going to talk about the two element arrays. Now the simplest situation for study is to use the two elements in the array. So each element we are considering here is a point source. So these 2 point sources 1 and 2 are placed along with the x-axis, separated by a distance d and located symmetrically with respect to the origin of the coordinates. So here we are interested in finding the field at a distance r along a line at an angle of phi with x-axis. Note that in antenna theory we are not interested in the radiation over a short distance, that is r is very large. So our observation point p here will be at the distance r, which is very large. Okay, so in this section we will study 5 cases involving two isotropic point sources. So the first case which we are going to study here is nothing but the two isotropic point sources of same amplitude and phase. So whereas these both will have same amplitude as well as a phase. The second case which we are going to consider is nothing but the two isotropic point sources of a same amplitude and we can say opposite phase. The third case is two isotropic point sources of same amplitude and phase quadrature. The fourth case which we are going to discuss is nothing but the two isotropic point sources of equal amplitude and any phase difference. And the last case which we are going to study is nothing but the two isotropic point sources of unequal amplitude and you can say any phase difference. So till you can say 4 cases we are having equal amplitude, same phase, opposite phase, phase quadrature, any phase difference, but last one we are having unequal amplitude and any phase difference. So let us discuss each and every case separately. So let us talk about the case 1, whereas we are having, so in the case 1, two isotropic point sources of same amplitude and phase. Now here we are going to talk about the two element array. So as we are assuming that whatever array we are using here is nothing but the two element array and this is nothing but the x-axis, let us say this is nothing but the y-axis, and whatever elements you are placing are along with the x-axis. Okay, so let us take this r to distance or to distance point, you can say p. Okay, so this is our observation point. This angle will be phi angle. This distance from here to here will be d by 2. This distance will be d by 2. Okay, so we are considering 0 as origin over here. Okay, so this is nothing but the two element array. Now to find the path difference, now as we know that this is element 1, this is element 2, how we are going to find out the path difference? So this I'll say figure A, the figure B, to find path difference. So here as we know that the separation is of a distance d from two elements, so let us talk about the path difference between these two elements over there. So here our consideration here is nothing but let us talk about these things. Okay, यहाँ पे so this is your x-axis, this is your element 1 and this is your element 2. So this is 1 and this is 2. This is nothing but the reference. We are considering the origin as a reference. So distance will be equal, that is d by 2. Here also it will be the d by 2, whereas total distance will be this one. Okay, now here as we know this is close to the observation point, this will lead and this will lag. Okay, so and here we are considering this is nothing but our reference. Now here this angle will be the angle phi. Okay, so if this lags and if this leads and if this is the reference, I can say if I put a perpendicular from here to here, okay, and this angle is nothing but the angle phi, this also will be the angle phi. So this is nothing but the d by 2 cos of 5. ठीक है, and similarly if I put the perpendicular from here to here, ठीक है, so this angle is again d by 2 cos of 5. ठीक है, so here if I say this is d by 2 cos of 5, this is d by 2 cos of 5, so collectively this will be the, so yeah, if you talk about the phase path difference here in this particular figure, so this path difference I can say d cos of 5. ठीक है, now here third one is nothing but the how I am going to get a phasor diagram for this one. So let us talk about the phasor diagram for two elements. So phasor diagram over here can be drawn like this. So I'm talking about the phasor diagram for the two element array. So this will be my reference. ठीक है, so this is my first element, this is my second element. So and the angle will be psi by 2 here, and this angle is nothing but the minus psi by 2. ठीक है, so this will be called as a reference. This is the resultant E, I can say. ठीक है, this will be the E0 e raised to minus j psi by 2, and this will be E0 e raised to j psi by 2. So I can say this is my source 1 and this will be the source 2. So this is nothing but the phasor diagram when we are going for the two element array. Now this is nothing but the two arrays or two element arrays which are having equal amplitude and the same phase. Now what will happen if we are having a equal amplitude and the same phase? How we are going to calculate the total field radiated by this particular? ठीक है, so we wish to find the field at a distance r with angle phi from the x-axis. So we are going to take the two possibilities into consideration. So there are two possibilities. So the first possibility here is nothing but the origin of the coordinate as a reference, and the second one of the source is a reference. Let us now see the effect of changing reference on the pattern. So for the first possibility we'll see origin of the coordinates as a reference. So as the currents applied to each antenna are equal, we are assuming that equal currents are supplied to each and every element. So we can say that the result of that particular input or the same field strength from the antenna will be there. So E1 will be equal to E2, which is equal to E0. ठीक है, but here in to find the phase of the fields with respect to reference, we join 3 points, antenna 1, reference, and antenna 2 with the point P. So if the point P is far away from the antenna system, all three lines are almost parallel. ठीक है, so here we have considered the point P. ठीक है, we have considered this particular point P is on the right of y-axis. ठीक है, so P will be closer to antenna 2, and this will be the, you can say this will be closer to the antenna 2 and little bit away from antenna 1. ठीक है, so the if similar isotropic source is placed at the reference, then field due to antenna 2 will reach point P early as compared to the reference field. ठीक है, so the field 2 is said to be leading the reference. ठीक है, so here the source 1 is at longer distance than the reference, the field 1 will take more time to reach P, so field 1 you can say said to be lagging the reference. So in other words, source 2 results in the leading field, while source 1 gives the lagging field. So here if I am interested in finding out the total path difference, as I have derived that particular thing, so my total path difference in this case will be d cos of 5, which we have already seen. So total phase difference at the receiving field, so the total phase difference I can write here for the receiving field will be psi, which is nothing but the beta d cos of 5. So this d cos of 5 into this is nothing but the phase constant, which is nothing but the 2 pi by lambda. So as reference is exactly at the center of two antennas. So first case we are considering here that the reference is exactly at the center of two antennas. So field due to antenna 2, I can say field due to antenna 2 leads by psi by 2, and field due to antenna 1 lags by psi by 2. So this is nothing but the how we are going to get the received phase angle. So thus in terms of psi I can write, thus in terms of psi we can write field due to source 1 will be E0 e raised to minus j psi 2, and field due to source 2 will be E0 e raised to j psi 2. So these are the two fields which I have got because of two element array. So the total field at point P is obtained using the superposition theorem. Okay, so here how I am going to get this particular field. So total electric field here is equal to E is equal to E0 e raised to j psi by 2 plus E0 e raised to minus j psi by 2. So I can write here this will be E0 e raised to j psi by 2 plus e raised to minus j psi by 2. Okay. Now as we know that this particular is nothing but e raised to j theta plus e raised to minus j theta. Otherwise I can write here, we know that e raised to j theta plus e raised to minus j theta divided by 2 is equal to, I'll write this is nothing but the cos of theta. Okay, so here I will write this particular form of the equation. So ye wala equation if I apply here, I can write this equation will be E is equal to E0 cos of psi by 2. Okay, so this is nothing but the total field which I have obtained because of these two elements. Okay, now normalizing this particular, so if I'm talking about the normalization means I'm assuming that my electric field is 1 over here. Okay, so I can say let E0 to E0 is equal to 1, E0 is equal to 1 by 2. So then the field is said to be normalized, and it will be given by En is equal to cos of psi by 2. So this is nothing but the normalized field which I have got, which is nothing but the cos of psi by 2. Now putting the value of psi, so as we know that psi is equal to cos of psi by, this is nothing but the angle which is we have calculated beta d cos of 5. So this normalized field will become now cos of beta d cos of 5 divided by 2. Okay, so here if I calculate this particular value, and if I put that beta phase constant is nothing but a 2 pi by lambda, so this will be cos of 2 pi by lambda d cos of 5 by 2. So the calculation here is nothing but the cos of pi d by lambda into cos of 5. So this is nothing but the En. So this field pattern can be drawn by putting different values of d and the current in a phase. So here this normalized field pattern, you can draw this field pattern by putting the values of, you can say different values of d. So and current. So if you are talking about the current here, your current here is equal to 0, and put different values of d. ठीक है. So this is nothing but the how you are going to get the normalized field if you are not having, if you are having your reference as a origin. So let us talk about, we can say, putting the values over here. So the first value which we'll put, d is equal to lambda by 2 and alpha is equal to 0. ठीक है. So if you put this, your normalized field will be equal to cos of pi by lambda, lambda by 2 and cos of 5. ठीक है. So here by solving this one, you will get this cos of pi by 2 cos of 5. So here I'll put different values of, I can say 5, and I'll calculate the normalized field over here. So by putting the different values, 0 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree, 120 degree, 150 degree, 180 degree, 210 degree, 240 degree, 270, 300 and 330 degrees. So like I can plot what kind of the pattern I'll get over here. So here for 0 degree cos of 0, we know that it is 1, and cos of pi by 2 will be 0. So this value will be 0. This will be 0.2, this will be 0.7, not 7, 1 point, I can say 1707, point of 2, 0, 0.2, 0.7, not 7, 1.7, not 7, again 0.2. So if you plot the graph of this particular angle versus the normalized field, you will get the pattern over here, which will be like this. So if I put all these values together and if I plot the radiation pattern for this, I'll get this particular radiation pattern here like this. Okay, so I can say my radiation pattern for 90 degree I'm getting it 1. So I'll say this is 1. So this 0 degree, this is 90 degree, this is 180 degree. For 180 degree I'm getting a 0. For 270 again I'm getting 1 over here. Okay, this is my point source 1, this is my point source 2. Now here for 30 degree I'm getting 0.2 somewhere here, for 60.7 somewhere here. So if I put all these things over there, I'll get this kind of the pattern. Okay, so I can say this is nothing but the what kind of pattern I'm getting for 30 degree, 60 degree, something like that. Okay, now the conclusion which I can draw from this one, the properties of this pattern are, I'm getting here figure 8 pattern, and this is, I can say, a dow nut shape pattern, and I will say this is the broadside couplet or broadside pattern. Okay, so when I talk about the broadside pattern, if you're placing your antennas or the elements on the, say, x-axis, so in this particular, your maximas will be the perpendicular to this axis. So you're placing this antennas on the x-axis and your radiation pattern is perpendicular to this axis, will be called as the broadside array. So if you're having this particular pattern along with this particular, I can say, placement of the arrays in particular direction, will be called as the end fire array. So if the maximum of radiation pattern is in the direction of the ends, either in the plus x or in the minus x, it will be called as the end fire. But if you can see here, it is perpendicular to the placement of the arrays, will be called as the broadside arrays. Okay, now the next possibility is source 1 is used as a reference. So here if you can see here, the source 1 is used as a reference and source 2 is over here. So if we see the path difference between these two sources, it will be d cos of 5. And if we talk about the phasor diagrams, this will be the E0 from the source 1, and as this is the reference, this will have e raised to 0 means 1. So here it is nothing but the phase shift, or you can say this is the field because of the source number 2. So E0 e raised to j psi. Okay, so this is something which we have change if we got when we change the reference. So here, as in the previous discussion, the total phase shift, or you can say the phase difference here, psi, is equal to beta d cos of 5. Now the source 1 is used as a reference. Its field expressed will be, so I'll write here field due to source 1 is equal to E0 e raised to J0, which is nothing but the E0. Now the field 2 is now leading the field 1 by an angle psi. So field due to source 2 here will be E0 e raised to J psi. Now the total electric field is nothing but the addition of these two fields. So if I'm interested in the total electric field, your total electric field here you can calculate like this. So I'll write here total electric field. So this total electric field, now I can write E is equal to E0 e raised to J0 plus E0 e raised to J psi, which is nothing but the E0 1 plus e raised to J psi. Now let us simplify this equation. E0 e raised to J psi by 2 e raised to minus J psi by 2 plus e raised to J psi by 2. Now as we know that this is nothing but the equation which is nothing but the in the form of cos of theta, which is nothing but the e raised to minus j theta plus e raised to j theta divided by 2. So this equation will become 2e0 cos of psi by 2 and the angle psi by 2. Now here let us consider that whatever field we are getting, it is nothing but the normalized field. So let 2e0 is equal to 1, then E, or you can say then normalized field is, so if I talk about the normalized field, my normalized field now will be En cos of psi by 2 and angle psi by 2. So comparing this equation with the previous equation, we find that the only difference is in the phase angle. So the magnitude plot here will be decided by the cosine term, which is same as the previous equation. Thus the magnitude plot with this particular equation will be same as the previous equation. So we can conclude from this particular thing, that is changing reference point will not have any effect on the radiation pattern. The only change here is nothing but the you will have this angle. Okay, so this is all about the two element array which are of equal amplitude and equal phase. So we stop here. Thank you.